I've been fascinated by prop design for quite a while now, and I've even tried my hand at a couple of things. Like, for example, while they weren't technically props, I have, with the help of my father, made two camera rigs that I used for filming. The first one was a slider, seen here. Now, the second one was more of what I would call an overhead rig, something to make the camera like face directly down. And that one I honestly thought I was going to lose a finger in the making of. We had to do some really squirrely to get that thing done in time, mainly with a multi-tool genie, and my fingers still got all 9 of them, though. I've even done a restoration on an old, rotten fireman's axe for my grandfather as a birthday present. One of my favorite restorations I've ever done, builds in general. I've even tried my handiwork at brasswork. I've also probably breathed in enough brass dust in order to make a gear, but life goes on. One thing I haven't really done a lot of in general is either epoxy work or steel work. And I just so happen to have a very close friend of mine graduating in around June. So I figured now's probably the best time to just jump into the deep end, start working on this. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why haven't you gotten this done? Well, the answer is quite simple. Procrastination. Now that I have successfully wasted 6 to 7 months just thinking about making it rather than actually making it, I say we just hop right into it and try to get this done in the month and a half that I have left. It's time to make a sword. The first step in designing the sword was to find a reference. After finding a reference I liked the look of, I began with the shaping out of the handguard and the blade itself. Then I put the fuller bit too close to the handguard, which looked very weird to me, so I decided to pull it further forwards. Next up is to figure out what the handle will look like. Going into this, I knew that I wanted the handle to have a spiral design to it, so here I am trying and failing to draw a spiral. I swear I know what I'm doing, at least a quarter of the time. Pulling up a reference, I remembered something from my years of training. Copy and paste exists. Remembering that, I simply drew a shape that I wanted and pasted it to itself. Looking back at it, I decided I didn't really like the lead-in to the handle, so I decided to change it a little bit. Ah, much better. Now, this is by far my best handwriting, but it's not going to stay. Now, onto the pommel, I decided to go with the circular style with the design I've used before. Not only does this allow me to be lazy, but it also is based on one of their motifs, so it's a win-win situation. After fiddling with the mushroom design for way too long, I finally got it somewhat centered, and then here I am experimenting with adding a second mushroom. But after a little bit, I decided to just stick with simplicity and just do one. With the sword coming together quite quickly, I decided to add a little bit of flair to the handguard. A plain handguard with a spiral handle would just be like putting a spoiler on an RV. I mean, it's funny, but altogether, it just looks really weird. Don't mind me, just putting in a red line to mark out the center line. I wanted to put the birthstone somewhere into the design, so I decided to put it into the handguard, that way you can see it over the scabbard. Ah, nothing better than letting the computer handle it for you. Gotta love type font. And with that, the sword's finally finished being designed in raster. Ignore the second mushroom, it's not there, don't look for it. Now, on to vectorizing it. Placing the design into Inkscape, I slowly broke down the sword into its component parts, much like a reverse Exodia. it just pissed off the entirety of the Yu-Gi-Oh community. Look, I even put together a scabbard for the sword to go into. After vectorizing the designs, I used the red squares to see what I could fit onto a piece of paper given the print margins on my printer. Copying them over is mainly just to look at my work from the same angle multiple times, but it also doubles as a way for me to take each individual paper separately. By selecting both the design and the square, I can then cut out everything but what's in the square by merging the two. Just like so. This is awkward. I am so confused right now. Me too, past me. Me too. Get out of that, but what? Is it because it's above it? That might be why. Aha! Yeah. Oh, that makes so much sense, actually. After figuring out why it wasn't working, I set about doing the same thing to each segment of the design. How much would it suck if I had, like, renamed all these, and then as soon as I, you know, like, go through and do the selection clip, it just changed the name again? That would suck. Hopefully it doesn't do that. Luckily, it didn't do that, so everything was fairly neat and organized. Finally, once they were all done, I did a test print. I love this. This is great. I cut enough of these so I don't accidentally do the wrong ones. Okay, so this is one. Now for all the other segments. They're all printed now. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm learning. Just printed them out and look. Granted, it needs some trimming up because it's, you know, I just set them on top of each other, but whew, the fact that I can do this is amazing to me. I love my job. Look at the detail. It's amazing. That being said, trimming this up and taping it together is going to be a problem for tomorrow me. So it is currently about 8:30-ish. I'm working on connecting the entire thing, and I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forgot to record the first half of it. It looks like so far, once it's trimmed down and taped together. And now I'm working on the second part for where it connects to this. So like this would line up to this part right here. Let's get that camera hooked up. last night, something that we did was that we hooked up the entirety of the designs. I had a little bit of an issue where obviously I miscalculated and didn't match these up because I didn't have reference points. So I ended up with it being a little bit off right there. But the major thing that I want to do today is I want to take the dowel and turn it into more of like the height, or rather length, of the handle that I need, which is just under 4 inches. I want to make it a little bit longer than that, so that way it can slide into the crossguard. The number 2 thing, which I might be doing first just because of the ease of it, is I wanted to take this brass piece that I have here. I got new caps exactly for this reason. Yeah, so I think 5 inches feels way better in my hand. And then you would still have space for the crossguard to go, have it feel perfectly okay. The next step would be to put in the spiral pattern. Actually, no. The first step would be to get this into an ovular shape instead of a circular shape. That way it rests easier in your hand. But I think I want to save that for a tomorrow project, because I'm getting hungry, getting tired. It is 8:11 p.m. So this right here is the billet I'm going to be cutting to the length of my grandfather. It's a bit over, probably just under 15, just from the looks of things. But we're going to be cutting it here so I don't have to transport it and we can get it to shape. Like his shop. I'll bring over the designs and everything, and then we'll be good.
In the toolbox, there's a pair, big pair of pliers. It says pliers. Yeah, maybe you can do it. See if you can break that off. You want?
Yeah?
Gotta take some off here, right?
Yeah, that's fine.
Take it back a little bit. Take it back more. Take it back. Take it back on the other side.
This side?
Take it back on there.
That?
Just a little bit more. Okay.
Sadly, I wasn't able to get audio for this part, so instead it's going to be my stuffed up voice. God, I hate pollen season. After grinding and cutting the shape out, it's now time to refine the shape of the fuller into the blade. I was working on the handle at the time, so my father handled the refining part. Here he is using what I believe is a Dremel bud bit, as it looks a bit too rounded to be a flame bit. Using this bit, he's able to get the massive gouge marks out from the grinding process fairly quickly. Now, the next step for him is to increase the depth of the fuller. Now, imagine a stream that's an inch deep. You imagining it? Good. Now tell me if you can see it easily. Now, imagine if that stream was a 5-foot deep river. Way easier to notice, right? Taking a wheel bit, he's able to deepen the fuller quite drastically. The final step for this side of the sword is to use a pear bit to soften the slope from the blade to the center line. Now, the next step is to flip the blade over. After marking out where the fuller should be, we begin the process again. First up, we use the bud bit, then after we bring out the wheel bit, followed by the pear bit. At this point, the steel dust was making it hard to see, so here I am coming in with a can of air to allow us to see again. Now that we can see, it's time to do more dremeling. You know what? Fuck this. This is taking too long. Using the grinder wheel carefully, we can make this go way faster. And here it is with the power of editing. And after that, this is what the fuller looks like. So now we send it off to a friend of ours who has machinery able to do this task. Jesus Christ. My sciences are all types of messed up. We have managed to get the sword finally milled to a, I'd say, decent amount. And we now have the option of leaving it as it is, which is boring, or adding a little pizzazz and making it a little bit different. So, as a result of it being tool steel, and also the fact that I don't want to be boring, I have decided to blue the steel. So, here's that process. Casey and I don't want to stand there. pound this back.
Obviously, we don't know how to make handles.
No, but I'm showing you
The
how
fucking-
to hide the imperfection.
Exactly. No, I'm just laughing about it because remember when we made the axe and we had to hide it with a piece of tin?
Well, yeah. But it worked, didn't it?
It did.
Alright. It's not that bad, though.
It's not. It's really, like, you have to look to notice it. The major thing that I'm worried about is that part right there, which I think I can stand that. Oh, be careful.
Well, yeah, once they get glued together.
Yeah.
Hey, how deep am I going, kiddo?
Probably drill this one out deep because I want to match it, so I can put a mark on the bit.
So for the handle,
You all right? You want a chair? You all right?
this right here is the full length of the tank.
Bring the blade back over here, kiddo.
Will do.
You can also cut that end. That's a little bit better. There we go.
We can't go any further than like this part right here because that's how far this needs to sink in.
Well, to be honest with you, you have about that much space, so that end is gonna get cut off.
Yeah.
So
Well, you gotta drill this first.
I know that's what I gotta drill first.
Where'd you go with it?
You went over to grab over there.
Ah, here it is.
Oh, my mouse.
I don't know. You blame me for a 4-foot level. Right there's your center.
And then do the mill.
Yep.
Did you?
Tastes lovely. Just to let you know. Sure wonder what it tastes like.
I'm sure it's like raspberries and Kool-Aid.
Yeah. on acid.
This side right here is the side that we need to drill into.
So this needs to be mounted like this. Right?
Correct. Correct.
So just like that.
Correct.
All sales final.
Well, that's gonna be a bitch to get it right.
Yeah. Give me a small bit first, 'cause that's oak, which is gonna make more of a fucking bitch.
Yep.
Now you know where your center is. No, they make replacements for almost every part nowadays. You won't find a better press than the old one.
Yeah.
Like this one may have its issues, but you will never find one like this.
Put it this way, that press is older than you are.
I can tell.
No, he's talking to me.
You,
No, I can tell. I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't know if they still make parts for this. Like, this is fairly old.
don't matter, they still, I can get a check for it. So when's this movie gonna be printed?
Well, I gotta record the reaction, so it's probably going to be 2 or 3 weeks from now.
Here's my holes.
There we go.
There you go. Now it's just waiting.
Yep.
Just remember, pegs are really close here.
Yeah.
And I also got to remember when I router it.
So I'm sitting in the chair so you know that this is somewhat serious. I don't know what happened, but as you can see by the clip that was before this, we somehow this up. Some point in the construction, it went to and it just needed to be redone. I mean, look at that. They're literally trying to get anything out from the bottom using a drill with a very long, not even a bit. We literally just stuck a piece of metal into it. Surprised we didn't break the chuck. Simple truth of the matter is that this doesn't fit the sword anymore. Now, I don't know if it's something where the glue caused the wood to expand, and not allow the sword in, because it was a fairly snug fit. I don't know if the universe decided that we needed to make a second one that was better. But this won't fit the sword, so we need to make a new one. So the good news is that we've actually already made a new one. Right here. Now this thing has been put through the entire process. We made it a little bit of a wider hole. In fact, you can see I can fit 3 of my fingers into there. So this has gone through the process of shaping, sanding, burning, and finally staining. Now the good news is that this is able to fit the sword. Hold on, let me go and get the sword. So the good news is that this is able to fit the sword extremely well. Just like that. You have a little bit of play, but it's not a big issue. So the next course of action for this, before we finish up the project, is that we're going to put a concho right about here, so that way we can tie down the blade so it doesn't. The final step for the sword itself is to put the namesake onto both sides, and then we will have the sword itself done. And then that just leaves the stand.
ain't going anywhere. Now wait for it to glue. And glue the clamp. That's too high.
I haven't chopped it in.
Oh,
I can drill it in more.
no, what I'm meaning is like... No, look at this.
What's too high?
It's too far this way, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I thought you drew the hole where it should be.
I did. I thought I did. I think I see what happened. We didn't have this aligned with this. So it was at an angle, and that's why.
Good news, I'm going to fill it with wood putty.
Alright, that works.
That's putty?
Believe so.
No, that's my solder butts.
Ah.
gonna be quite honest. When I first originally did this, I didn't think that I would be able to fully bring this to the stand that I wanted it to be at. I didn't know where to start at. I didn't know where to get the materials. I was kind of just doing it off the seat of my pants. But this project has come out so much better than I could have ever hoped for. I wanted to give a very quick thank you to everyone who's helped me on this project. My brother, for one, was a massive help in helping me come up with the idea for how to go about this. A lot of the ideas that I had, I ran by him, and he would either say, no, you're an idiot, or that's actually a pretty good idea. The next person I want to thank is actually someone who's been helping me throughout the entirety of this process. He was willing to help me and impart some of his knowledge onto how to get this project done, because I have had 2 years of woodworking knowledge. He's had 40. So no matter which way you spin it, even if it's just making a sword, which is brand new to him as well. Casey, what the hell are you doing up there? Oh, that's not Casey, that's Riggs. Well then. Without your help, Dad, this project would have been dead in the water, and I really appreciate how much you were willing to put in for effort and time. The next person I wanted to thank was actually my grandfather. Without my grandfather's steel, I don't think this project would have ever happened. So thank you, Papa, for taking the time to help me for that and teaching me how to grind metal. I want to thank Jerry, a good buddy of my father's, who took the blade from the mess that it was when we first had it to refining it and getting it to the exact amount that we needed. There's a cat right above me, is there? Hi, Riggs. Why did I film this by a tree? I wanted to thank Vermont Awards and Engraving in Colchester. They're not sponsoring me whatsoever, but I asked them, hey, can I mention you in the video? And they were like, absolutely, we'd love to. When I needed brass for the nameplate, I figured I would go to them first. And they were absolutely amazing to work with, especially when I was an idiot and didn't check my email for about 2 weeks and completely missed the message where they said that my order was ready. They were completely understanding with that, and if you ever need brass work and you happen to be in the greater Vermont area, they're extremely nice people, amazing to work with, and their prices aren't outrageous like some other places I've seen. Now, the last set of people that I want to thank before we show off the project to Megan is, so I wanted to thank the viewers. I mean, not many people can watch a 30-minute Holy shit. I'm so happy that it is A, done, so I can get some good sleep again, and B, going to somebody who deserves it. And Megan, if you're watching this, thank you so much for being an absolutely wonderful person and friend. No matter how difficult the day was, you always push me to give my best work, and I really appreciate that. I hope that you enjoy the sword. Alrighty, so I'm gonna have you close your eyes.
Okay. Back to your camera first, hold on.
Yeah, move it.
I'm planning on working on my art portfolio.
Yeah.
So I can get into art school, yeah.
Alrighty, so I'm gonna have you put your hands out.
Is it recording?
Yes.
I really like the, yep, okay.
And now you can open up your eyes.
Oh my god!
I got you a sword because I knew that you always
I
wanted a
love
sword.
that! Oh my gosh, what does this button do?
Go and click it.
That's so fun. Oh my gosh, did you make this?
No, God,
Okay.
no. However, I did make this one.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Brock.
What?
Holy crap.
Now hold her orange one so she can actually open it without worrying about cutting herself.
So this, you might want to sit down to untie this. It's a simple knot, but it applies pressure when it's hanging. I'm just gonna sit it down here real quick. When it's hanging, it pulls itself taut, so you don't have the sword fall out of the scabbard.
Yeah, that's smart. Oh my god. Wow. You made this?
Well, partially. The milling was done by one of my dad's friends because he had the machinery for it. But me and my grandfather took 1/8" steel, ground out the blade. I did the handle out of dowel. My father and I did the pommel and the
Oh
hilt.
my god.
And then I did all the burning. The drill press was
my brother and my grandfather since they knew how to run a drill press better. So there is one more thing. Well, actually, there's like 2 more things technically.
And I hope you can understand Latin.
I took Latin.
Cause
I'm not an expert in Latin. Oh my goodness.
he started telling us about it. I'm like, I don't understand.
It
Latin.
means out of darkness and fire we have risen, and so as ashes we shall go with the wind. That's the mount.
Awesome. Oh my god, thank you.
You'll also need these. These are the screws.
The
to put them
screws?
in, and this is a specific head for it because
Okay.
it's a very weird screw. And then you get a little duck.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much. Holy crap, you did not have to do this.
I wanted to see if I could honestly just do it, to be fair.
I bet she could kick your butt with the real sword.
Probably.
Yeah. And I have a sword, so
That's
if
a
anybody
fair
comes
point.
looking for me,
Exactly.
then
You just take out the sword.
oh my goodness.
If you've stuck around to see the ending of this, I really wanted to thank you for that. After this, there is a set of bloopers from the construction of this sword. If you would like to watch it, the one thing I will let you know is that it is not children friendly. There's a lot of swearing, so keep that in mind. I'm not going to censor them. Now, without further ado,
What the hell does your shirt say?
This is a shirt my mother had saw and bought. It says radiology 3 times.
Oh, radiology. It's backwards for me. So I
Yeah.
was reading Egoloid bar.
Oh my god. But no, it just says radiology. I just grabbed a random shirt in my
Radiology?
closet. I'm gonna kill you.
Radiology shack.
You did not just say that to me.
Did.
I would shop at that shack.
What would they sell? MRI machines?
I feel like they would sell like just X-ray equipment or stuff that people could use in like that department. Machines, lead aprons, other protective equipment.
They like, you know how you can buy like souvenirs at like stores and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
One of the souvenirs is just a literal lead brick. It's just an ingot full of lead. Oh my god! And like instead of the amusement parks where they take your photo, instead what it is it's just like they just sell other people's X-rays.
Oh my god, you can't do that. That's against HIPAA.
You can get one signed. Like you can spend more money and get it signed.
I feel like another thing they could do, you know, those little like glass bottles with like a pirate ship like little figure inside.
Yeah.
They could take like a glass bottle and put like the little like the X-ray parts of like an X-ray like beam inside of it, because there's a whole component system that's inside of like.
Where the hell's the size on it?
It's right there.
What does it say?
8-inch by 1/8.
Fuck me.
You're alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, I'll go with that. Yeah, like you'd have to sign a waiver, a waiver saying that you were okay with people selling. You have to sign a waiver. It's just like one of those little cookies. You know, the ones that are like chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. You just have to really
So, David,
painstakingly
you're
write your
telling
name
me-
on that.
So you're telling me it's gonna be like a waiver, like those people who went on the submarine that imploded?
I'm gonna have to cut that.
Oh my god, I'm dying. I'm so going to hell if I wasn't going already. Oh
I'm
shit.
absolutely 100% going to have to cut that.
Yeah, I figured you would.
Did you just see my face just like drop? The best
We're
part
not
is
as good with cameras.
That's okay.
that's why I'm a very redundant person.
Why do you have to be like directly where I'm working? Why?